Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Bakakadash, the one to the apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Gabal, coming at you with another short lesson that I pray that you find edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. So, this is a little article that I found on shithitthefan.plan.com, and essentially, you know, the world is preparing for the collapse of the society, you know, and you know, the heathen see the signs coming because they see that there has been a change in their everyday lives. But you jakes don't see the change in your life because you've always been poor. You've always been casted out. You've always lived in the slums. So, you look at what's going on in the world as if it's a normal everyday occurrence. And to some respect, it is a normal everyday occurrence of you having to live day by day, and not have the pleasures of, enjoying life. But you were never meant to enjoy life in this wicked kingdom. You was never meant to prosper in this place. You were never meant to be on top in this place. That was not what you were here for. You were here to serve out a punishment for disobeying your power. But you jakes, man, you jakes have taken poverty and made it a culture. And a lot of you were just destroyed. So the collapse of the society has always been a part of your everyday lives. You've never lived in a upper echelon neighborhood. Hell, in a lot of cases, you can't even go into an upper echelon neighborhood, without being stopped by some form of authority or the locals that live in that community. So this article is dated January 19th, 2024, and the title of it is Preparing for the Collapse of Society. I'm going to read on with the article. It's a pretty lengthy article, but, hopefully it's going to be edifying. I probably won't read the whole thing. And it reads, are you convinced that we're headed for social collapse? If so, you are definitely not alone. Survey after survey has shown that faith in all of our major institutions is dropping, and that brings, and that brings the scripture to mind, when Yahweh Shai said, shall he find faith in earth when he returns? And the answer is he's only going to find faith amongst the elect. The rest of the world, there's not going to be any faith in anything, except their strong arm, Survey after survey has shown that faith in all of our major institutions is dropping, and there is a growing consensus that very challenging times are ahead of us. Here in 2024, we will be facing the most chaotic election season in our entire history. Multiple wars are erupting all over the planet. Economic problems are rapidly growing. Destructive and natural disasters are becoming more frequent. Global authorities are warning us to brace ourselves for the next pandemic, and our cities are becoming absolutely overwhelmed by endless waves of new migrants. The stage is set for a social implosion of epic proportions, and many Americans are feverishly preparing for incoming collapse that they believe is inevitable. So, you know, these heathen see the inevitable collapse that's about to happen, but you Jakes, you know, you look at Jake, you know, he'd rather be on TikTok doing the dance challenge and shit at a gas station parking lot, as opposed to preparing his soul, his heart, meaning his mind, for what's coming, because it's going to be gruesome. It's going to be terrible. You know, there's nothing good coming out of what's coming for you 2/3. You know, the scriptures say that even the elect shall scarcely be saved. So, to a level, we even have a fear. You know, and out of my Ratazah, I pray that I'm one of those men. We have a healthy fear of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. But you Jakes don't fear nothing yet because you don't see it yet. You don't feel the impact of what's coming, because very soon Yahweh Bashim Yahushai is going to put the spirit on these devils to start taking you Jakes out. Then what are you going to do? Who are you going to call on? Where are you going to go? How are you going to react? You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say that even men shall be as women. Reading on. For a long time, many people have faith that the government would be able to keep society stable, but now that has changed. In fact, one recent survey discovered that a whopping 71.2% of all Americans have no faith in the U.S. government to save them or prevent a doomsday event. You know, and a lot of times when you read articles like this and they say Americans, they talking about Esau Edom. You know, they don't consider you Jakes Americans at all. You know, American, the word American is a buzzword within society that means white people, so-called white people. Salakia. I gotta get my tea on. You know what I mean? Reading on. According to a survey of 6,200 Americans conducted by the bonusfinder.com, 71.2% of Americans say that they have no faith in the U.S. government to save them or prevent a doomsday event. Even more unnerving, many respondents believe doomsday could come within the next year. And a lot of them would be right. Adonai Ratazah, this is the year of Jacob's trouble, or the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Because when Jacob's trouble kick off, we are definitely in this. You know? I mean, we're definitely in it now, but when Jacob's trouble happened, we don't have long, you know what I'm saying, to be up out of here. We don't have long, you know, to have to deal with the MOTB. And we definitely don't have long shortly thereafter when these missiles start pelting this place. Reading on. If you actually believe that the government will be there to rescue you when things really start hitting the fan, you are just being delusional. If it was equally divided up amongst the entire population, the emergency supplies that the government has on hand would last less than a day. Many Americans are realizing that they will be forced to rely on themselves as society collapses, and an increasing percentage of the population is spending significant money on emergency preparedness. So even though, you know, these heathen act cardinally, you know, and you know, they get these cardinal possessions, you know, to have them think that it's going to protect them during the time of trouble, at least they're doing something that they were designed to do. They are designed to be cardinal. You know, they're doing something that is in them. But you Jakes, man, you 2/3 are doing wickedly. You know what I'm saying? You Jakes ain't even preparing. You know, not even on the cardinal level, let alone the spiritual level. You know, the heathen can't be spiritual on the right hand side. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't given that portion. But you Jakes were given that portion and you can't even do that. You know? And that's why a lot of you are going to die the death of the heathen. Because you refuse to turn back unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Reading on. Last April, the financial service firm founder last April, the financial services firm Finder found that the number of Americans who say they recently spent money on emergency preparedness jumped from 20% in 2020 to 29% in 2023. They spent an average of $150 on items such as non-perishable foods, medical supplies, cases of water. Today, you can't turn on a streaming platform without catching recommendations for popular survivalist reality shows such as Alone or Naked and Afraid. And on social media, homesteading and disaster preparedness influencers have amassed millions of followers across various platforms. Disaster preparedness is disaster preparedness is on the rise, in large part because disasters as well. From the supply chain shortages caused by, the C19 lockdowns, to the climate crisis, from wars in Ukraine and Gaza to teach-driven loneliness, from runaway disinformation to intractable political polarizations, more people are asking, am I better off being hyper-dependent on the global industrial economy? Would it be safer to grow my own food, store my own water, and not depend on complex systems I don't understand? And that's what's going to catch a lot of you Eves off guard. A lot of you Eves are so codependent upon, the government and what it has given you, that you have actually accepted the gift, and has been misled into thinking that, the government's going to be there for you all the time, when in fact, the government's about to cut you off. The government is about to leave you desolate beyond a level that you don't really understand. Meanwhile, while they're doing that to you, you have actually turned around and what, dogged your men out. You have actually dogged your men out to the point where most men don't even want to deal with you. If not most real men. You know what I'm saying? Of course you're gonna have your simps out there, who actually believe that, the woman is queen and the women need to be protected. Nah, fuck that. A lot of you women are gonna get what you deserve, and I'm not referring unto the elect woman. I'm talking about the ninjas. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of you women are gonna get exactly what you deserve. Why? Because you've opened your mouth and you said things that ought not have been said. You have done things that ought not have been done. To men, to your husbands. This is an adulterous generation. Everybody's fucking everybody, and everybody's definitely fucking everybody over just to get nowhere. So a lot of you women are gonna feel the pinch when the government just shuts down and not gives you your teeth. And you're gonna deserve it. So, this is a pretty lengthy article, but you know what I'm saying, it hits the point that a lot of people realize that the collapse of society here in Babylon the Great is definitely going to happen. A lot of the people feel as though, there's definitely something in the air that they just don't feel right about, So I'm going to grab a few scriptures and, I'm going to close out, because we are definitely in that time where where shit's about to hit the fan and you don't have a plan. You know, a lot of you people don't have a plan, you know, that's going to get you out of your situation. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15 and verse 8. I will hold my tongue no more as touching in wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold. So, you know, I'm going to leave it like that. You know, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not holding his tongue anymore. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to feel sorry for you Jakes when Jacob's trouble happened. You know? Let me see what I want to get. The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? And this is Esdras asking, who's going to deliver me in the time of Jacob's trouble? Which means that Esdras is going to be here during the time of Jacob's trouble. You know? Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils what shall I do when these evils shall come? What are you going to do when this economical system, well, not economical system, although it is going to collapse, but in general, what are you going to do when this system collapses? What can you do when this system collapses? We have no standing army. Jake don't even know how to get together, you know, to help each other out. You know? Everybody wants to be Charles in charge. So what are you going to do in that day? Who are you going to call on in that day? You know? The book of Isaiah says, woe unto them that go down unto Egypt for help. Meaning, woe unto you that go down, you know, to your local government service for help. Because they're the ones that's doing it to you. But you Jakes ain't paying attention, you're not listening, and nor are you acknowledging the fact that all of these evils are upon you, even until this day. You know? Verse 19, behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. These things are sent for your amendment. Not your destruction, although Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to destroy a lot of you motherfuckers. But a lot of these things were sent for your correction. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor always be mindful of the scourges. So even though these things are happening to you, you're not being mindful over the fact that you're getting your ass whipped for a reason. You're not mindful over the fact that who's whipping your ass is actually trying to correct you. And it's going to get to the point where, well, actually, it's almost at the point where Yahweh Shem Yahushua is about to turn his back on his place, and whoever the elect is, and Adonai Ratazar, one of those men, are sealed, and now you 2/3 are left to your own devices. Go and pray unto the gods that ye have chosen, pursuant to the book of Judges, chapter 10 and verse 14. Verse 21, behold, victuals should be so good cheap upon earth. That was the case. But now, hyperinflation is starting to kick in where the victuals that you did get cheap is now starting to become expensive. Which is going to show you that the economical system in this place is also a part of the overall system collapse. But you Jakes ain't paying attention to these things, yet and still you're crying on TikTok and you're making videos on YouTube about how things are becoming more and more expensive, but you're not doing anything to change your situation. You're not repenting, you're not turning unto Yahweh while Yahweh Shai. So, in that day, when you turn, you know, to seek the Lord, you're not going to find him. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth. They that think themselves to be in a good case. And a lot of people actually think that you're in a good case, but you don't realize that all it takes is a blackout and your good case will be your destruction. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And that's what you're facing right now. You're starting to see a great confusion upon the earth. You know, a sense of what's the word I'm looking for? Not knowing what to do, because you're hearing these things. Those who are listening, you're hearing these things, but you still haven't come to the conclusion that the only way through it is through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 22, and I'll close out on this. For many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of the famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So when this system collapses, it's going to be a dog-eat-dog world out there. Every man is going to be for himself. It's going to be a what they call a RAW, WROL, without a rule of law going on. Every man is going to make up laws based on what he's capable of doing. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a weapon, you know, like a sword, and the person that you come across don't have a sword, then you're going to be able to take what he or she has. You know? And there's not going to be anyone able to stop the man that has the sword. Unless they pile up on him, or, you know, he run out. But still, it's going to be without a rule of law. Law is just going to be out the fucking window. And men shall be afraid. And women are going to be cast out as dung. Or the dead is going to be cast. Well, shit, let me read verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. And this is what you got to look forward to in Adam Ramazah. It happens this year. The hopeful year of Jacob's trouble. Because when that happens, yo, we out of here. When that happens and the MOTB takes place, yo, we ain't got much longer. You know? And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. And to the next lesson, Adam Amatazah wa Shalom.